Hey, thanks.
Hi,
Hi, it's nice
nice
to
to meet
talk to
you.
you. I very much enjoyed the season. I finished watching it a while ago from the screeners. I rewatched the episode, but I watched it right through right away. I really enjoyed it. So,
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a compliment. Thank you.
yeah. So talk about, I guess, first acting with Alan, because I know you have a lot of fight scenes, but first talk about the acting part of it.
Yeah, like the first time we met, or
Either.
yeah. So the first time we met was actually at the stunt training. We're going to practice the arm wrestling scene. So that was interesting, and we're both enthusiastic gym goers. So I was checking him out. I think he was checking me out. Who's bigger and tougher? And at the but when we got along and speaking to each other, we really appreciate each other because we know how much effort goes into the acting and also keeping this body on size. And then a few years later, we were doing the gym scene. So that was actually the first scene we recorded together. And I noticed that, yeah, actor Alan is not only the actor but also a producer. He really told people his ideas, and people listened, and even I got to bring in some ideas. So it was really a group effort, and not like you do this, you do that. And that was really fun to work with Alan. That we both learned the script, and we got there. We both had our own ideas, and we made it better than we both practiced at home. So yeah, that was how I got to learn Alan, and um, not to suck up, but I have really nothing bad and to say. He's always happy and always puts everything into it, and lets you speak, and that's not always the case on movies, I have to say.
Right, right. I had read that you got the role because he had seen you online, it sounded like, from what I got out of it.
Yeah, yeah. So um, he saw a post on Reddit, I believe, and he told the casting director, "Hey, I might have found your giant, and find out if he can act." So casting actually sent a message to my agent. I got the gym scene and the opening scene at the gate as yeah, as a script, and I video recorded that, and I totally did it wrong apparently, because I figured like, well, let me not be the straight angry guard. I'm gonna make a scene where I play with Reacher, like he's a child. And with the feedback we got from the cast, we can see that Oliver can be Paulie, but he needs to do it differently. So I got feedback, I did it again, and then I got 4 weeks later, I heard that I got the part. So yeah, I really have to thank Alan for giving that tip to the casting directors.
That's awesome. So you obviously have a lot of fights in this show.
Yeah.
What's that? I mean, what's that like? And I don't know, do you have a stunt double? I mean, it must be hard to find 7'2" stunt doubles. I'm assuming you use the same person if you do over and over again.
No, the Kingsman, Indiana Jones, everything I did, Marvel Black Widow was me because they couldn't find anyone. And we found Kyle, and Kyle is an ex-basketball player, but also he did Venom, for example, and some other great shows like Marvel. And he's 6'11", but he doesn't have the bodybuilding shoulders or arms, but he had my length, and so there were a few stunts that were just too dangerous for me as an actor. And Kyle is really good at taking damage because that's his job. So, for example, when my character falls off a cliff, in real life it was 20 seconds of rolling off of stone. So I really thank you for doing this, Carl. So 95% is me, and Carl did the most, yeah, where you really can break stuff, things, yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the action part of it though, the part that you do get to do yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is that I trained 4 hours a day for 3 to 4 months to get to be able with a body of 160 kilos to move well. My other movies were like throw punch and not very spectacular, very simple stuff. It looked cool on screen, but what I'm doing in the end fight are really combinations, and they have to be fast. When you're as big as me, then a punch usually looks really slow. That's not because the punch is slow, but it's a big object that's moving. So
Right.
we had to get me a really fast military fighter style, and yeah, I think we pulled it off.
Yeah. Does it make it more complicated bringing in weapons? Because I know you two were swinging things a couple of times in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One time, Alan had to duck a little faster than was expected because I had to give him a beat, and I forgot about that beat, and he ducked right. He saw it coming, in the barn with a big stick. Yeah, so weapon fighting was indeed one of the things I had to learn. I forgot what the weapon is called, like a hark in Dutch. And oh well, the stick that breaks eventually.
Oh, the
You remember that
shovel?
scene?
The
Yeah,
shovel?
something like a shovel.
Okay, it looks like
So
a
that
shovel,
was
right?
yeah, so that was actually the first weapon I had to learn how to fight with. Yeah, so that was fun. Very different than their fist fighting.
Yeah. Talk about filming the scene in the water, because obviously that's another element that you had to add to it as you guys are getting pulled around. I know some of it's probably digital, but I'm assuming some of it was in the water.
Yeah, so in real life, I actually drowned once and got back to life. So I have a big fear for water.
Okay.
So I had to get over that. So we started in a normal pool at a house that they rented for me to get over my fear. Then I got my diver's license, and then we did practice in the real pool with all the waves and stuff. So I really had to get over my fears to do that scene, and they put so much effort and money into creating that ocean feeling and the waves. And yeah, when I saw the set they built, I told myself I have to get over this fear. I have to do this. They put so much effort in it, and it can be so cool. And I think I love the water scene. There are not a lot of fights in the water that can be made spectacular because you can't move as on land. But I think the choreography was pretty cool in the water.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. Are you trying to, I guess I'm just wondering, to me, it seems like you'd be worried about holding your breath and everything else while you're also trying to figure out what to do. Is it hard to concentrate on, I guess, everything at once when you have all that moving?
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, we had a lot of trainings with that, also with cameras around me, so I could see how I looked in the water. But we also had four divers around me, two on top of the water, two underwater, who constantly kept watching on me. So that helped me, let me feel really safe and sometimes hold my breath longer than I would normally. Because I know that if I did a thumbs up or we had some kind of signal, they would pull me up instantly. So that made me go to my extra limits in the water scenes.
Well, it looks really cool anyway. So you've been Reacher's obviously a big thing. You've even been in Marvel movie now. What's something you want to do that you still want to be in, that if you could choose anything, what would you want to be a part
Well,
of?
Amazon just announced God of War. So I really want to play the god Tyr, who is taller than Kratos. So I hope my agent will pursue that. And as it say, Amazon, do you remember Paulie? And there's some other roles. Harry Potter is going to cast eventually Hagrid. I would love to try
Okay.
out for him. I hope that there's going to be a human version of Colossus in Marvel. I really want to play him. Yeah, those three are really what I want to pursue.
Okay, awesome. Well, I was gonna say you got a good chance. There's not a lot of people that are as tall as you are, so it's hard to get somebody
Yeah,
bigger than Reacher. We talk about on our live stream when we talk about Reacher, like it's hard to get somebody bigger and stronger looking than Reacher, and it really worked really well. We really enjoyed it.
thanks. Appreciate
Was
that.
was there anything, let me ask you quickly, like, was there anything like character-wise that you had you found difficult getting into him, like, the character part of it as opposed to the physical part of it?
No, I think that the parts I did before this, the other movies, were simpler because they were shorter and there was not a background story and no build-up. So that was the first time I had to talk to the director. Hey, I want to do it like this, and it worked out. Yeah, and I think it really worked out because I have a lot of YouTube comments and on my Instagram, people saying, I got to meet you on Reacher, and now I see how sweet you are. I can't comprehend those two people. So that was a big compliment for me that I really play someone else than I am in real life. So that was the biggest compliment my fans on my pages gave me.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely is a mean guy. He's very nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to do something though more I mean, because I'm sure a lot of times you get approached to play, if you're going to play something, it might be a villain or whatever. Do you want to play something that's more like the nice guy?
Yeah, and if it happens, I would love to. For example, I did an audition for Master of Universe, and I don't know which part it was, but there are a lot of big guys on the good side.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I think at some point it will happen. Not at that movie. I gotta know. But I'm at the beginning of my career, and as long as the part is cool and has lines and it's a bad, I will never say, "Oh, it's a bad guy." I won't do that. That I'm not an actor that is that spoiled or But if you're asking me, do you want to play the good guy once? I would love to. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, the bad guy is never bad to himself. Usually, you have to,
It's the
they
point of
think they're
view,
doing
right?
the right thing. Anyway, yeah, exactly. All right.
Imagine they made uh, what is called a side story series of Paulie, how he got to be where he got to be.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a good guy and you understand him. You never know.
yeah, you never know. That'd be interesting. All right, well, we're out of time, but thank you so much. I appreciate it, and good luck. Hopefully, I'll see you as Hagrid. Maybe you never know.
Yeah, that would be life changing.
That
Thank
would
you.
be. All
Thank
right, have a
you.
good day. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye.